Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Chalahayinawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Chalahayinawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Chalahayinawa, Yahweh, Achad. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. Yeah, I like when I say that prayer. You know, especially when I'm out in the greenery. You know what I mean? Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power is one. It's just testimony of the power of the Lord, man. His presence, His spirit is in the trees, is in the birds, is in the bees. Nah, so today I'm gonna address the one of these folly little issues. It's really kind of going back to Christianity. And there's no doubt, I think the guy's name, Prince Genesis, the lake of fire is not America. So I'm just gonna hit a couple of precepts just to douse out that folly. And that's the reason why we prophesy, man. You know what I mean? Because we're looking forward to this place. You know what I mean? We're looking forward to this place getting burned up. And we know it's gonna get burned up. So be careful what you ask for. Sellouts and bugouts. It's gonna be the title of this video. Be careful what you ask for. You might just get what you ask for. Revelation 20, and we're gonna start from 7, and it says, when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is, and this is about to happen. All right, we see the stage is set. You're hearing about the wars, the rumors of wars. So together, the number of whom as the sands of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp out of the saints about, and the beloved city fire. And the beloved city and fire came down from God out of heaven. That's going to be the lasers from the chariots. All right? That's what he's talking about when it says fire came out from God, out of heaven. So this is what's going to come to pass. This will come to pass. That's why we prophesy. And we know it's not going to be no 30 years or of all different types of new kind of bug out, sell out teachings are popping up their ugly heads, and we're just going to pop them back down again, douse out the fire. And we're looking forward to that ultimate fire, you know what I mean, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. And then we're going to carry on reading because it's going to explain it. Yeah, the intercontinental ballistic missiles along with the chariots burning, bringing lasers to this place. And I'm just visualizing the War of the Worlds movie. I'm just visualizing that right now while I'm in this beautiful surroundings. Now I'm gonna do my thing after, but that's what motivates us, man. You know what I mean? That's the motivator. And fire is a cleanser. Yeah, out of heaven and devoured them, and the devil that deceived them was cast unto the lake of fire. Right. So this is just dousing out that fire, putting that water on this fire, this folly doctrine, dousing it out. Just reminds me of Christianity, that folly, and this is just stupidness, man. But anyway, we still have to bring out the precepts, because the precepts is what it's all about. Right? This is the prophecy that's not long now that we're praying for. That's why we say the Lord's Prayer, and if we could say it in the Hebrew every day, that's even better. Right? But the Lord's Prayer, man, is hallowed in thy name, hallowed be thy name, sanctify his name, the kingdom to come. You know what I mean? Abanawa Shabash Shemayim Kodash Hayash Shamka. Hallowed in the name, the creation and the kingdom on earth gonna reign. Right? The Shemayim, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. I probably can say it better in Hebrew now than in the English. At once upon a time, maybe even still I knew it word for word in the Hebrew. So this is why we give that, push up that vibration out there. Yeah, the kingdom to come. And the devil that deceived them was cast unto the lake of fire and brimstone. Yeah, the devil, that is Satan, is going to go on to explain it. Where the beast and the false prophets are, and shall be tormented day and night. The beast, yeah, the image of the beast, the false prophets. You got the three unclean frogs, the Vatican over there in Italy. That's the religious aspect of one of the three unclean frogs. The corrupt banking system over here in Babylon. That's the Bank of England, and then you got the military side of it, the Pentagon over there in Arkansas, Washington DC. So that's the three aspects. That's all of it. That's the pinnacle of Esau's kingdom, right? Gonna be do what? Right? The false prophets, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Right? This is not going to be. It's not going to exist. Right? It's going to be as Revelation, one of my favorite precepts. Revelation and 18 talks about, and 21 talks about the great millstone. Right? That's just going to be destroy everything into dust. Right? And also that backs up Daniel's chapters 2 and 44. Right? That kingdom that shall never be stand again, going to be made into dust and smoke. Right? And Babylon, that's what they're talking about. Babylon, America is not Babylon. What they're saying is the lake of fire is not America. So America is Babylon, and Babylon, right? The more we get into it, we understand that it's just going to be a memorial for what is left of a place that is extremely wicked. Simmering smoke and tumbleweed just flowing through, right? A memorial. And let's carry on reading. So, yeah, and their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death, right, man? There's no coming back for these wicked people, right? Babylon, or you got other words like Bozrah, the Chaldeans, Edom. This all represent Babylon, America. So let's hit another precept. Don't need a whole load of precepts, just to douse cold water on this folly doctrine that's trying to pop up its ugly head. So all you sellouts and bugouts, you're gonna get what you're asking for. Be careful what you're asking for, because you may just get it. Jeremiah, yeah, this is straightforward. Jeremiah 49 and 12 says, for thus saith Yahweh, behold, thy whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shalt altogether go unpunished? Right, Yashua Allah, right? So-called black people, we drank everything, including the drags on the bottom of the cup, the slavery, the Jim Crow, and all the other things that accompany being under those curses. So we never went unpunished. Yeah, thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Bozrah, right? Bozrah represents Babylon, which is America, right? Shall become a desolation and a reproach, a waste, a curse, and all the city thereof shall be perpetual waste, right? That's America. All the city, like I say, it's going to be America. Babylon is a memorial, going to be left as a memorial for what happens to a place, right? Just like Sodom and Gomorrah, that is extremely wicked. And you can still, you can see the remains of Lot's wife, that pillar of salt and sulfur, and people visit there, and it's a memorial that people be visiting. You know, even these they've got these tour guides talking about, you know, you can go and visit, and you can see the salt, the statue of salt, Lot's wife, she was turned into salt, and the sulfur that's on the floor, the remains of the fire and brimstone that burn up that place. fire that came out of heaven and burned up Sodom and Gomorrah. The sulfur, and it's still very much alive, right? And that's historical. You can check out the historical side of that, but we know anyway through the precepts and through the power of Yahweh Shemashah, all these things have been revealed to us, right? And thus saith Yahweh thy power. Therefore I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse, right? Nothing left but tumbleweed and sulfur and smoke, right? Sivering smoke, smolderings, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste, right? All of Babylon. You understand? Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, let me hit Genesis. Back up the point. Get the dust off it. Genesis chapters 19, 24. It says, then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. Yeah, man. And he overthrew those cities, all of them, right? All of those cities that were overthrew, because you had a couple cities. So you had 5 cities. Sodom, right? And you get into the meanings of the meanings of the word Sodom. Means burning. Gomorrah. That's the first. Gomorrah, right? The meaning of that one is submerged. Admah, red, right? This is the third city. Admah meaning red, right? Red earth, and Zeboim gazelle. Yeah, man. Right? Zeboim gazelle. Zoar, insignificant. Yeah, and Lot flew to Zoar, where he was protected. And when you get into his name, Lot, it means covering. So those were the 5 cities that were destroyed, right? Yeah, then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the city, that which grew upon the ground, right? But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of smoke, right? It's going to be very much the same with this place here, Babylon the Great, right? Which is a prerequisite, picture of what's going to happen to Babylon, as it says here. Yeah, and I have heard a rumor from the Lord, right? Let me read that again. Jeremiah 49 and 13. For I have sworn myself, saying Yahweh, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. Right, perpetual waste, just like those 5 cities, man. You know what I mean? Nothing left. And I've heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men, and be despised among man. And this is already happening, right? They're being hated already, right? You know what I'm saying? Because of what's everything been circulating, and Trump is making himself hated. You know what I mean? Putting out all those sanctions and all those laws, unjust laws, unrighteous decrees. He's making himself hated. So yeah, man, and he's setting up the stage for Russia, right? Russia bombing the hell out of Ukraine, bombing the hell out of them. You know what I mean? So now we see the stage being set for WW3, Abaratazar, that's on the horizon, and we know what's going to happen as we're going to carry on reading. It says, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. All right, man. Babylon. O thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, that holdeth the height of the hill, through thy shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle. I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh thy power. And you got the precept to that. You got the precept to that in Obadiah, right? They made themselves as high as a rock, as high as an eagle, and the Most High say, when you bring yourself up, what goes up must come down. It's going to come down with a bump, right? That's what's going to happen. It's going to come down with an extreme bump, right? Also Edom shall be a desolation, everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Right, man, just like they did with us, hissed at us, and wag their head, saying, we're gonna say, is this the that kingdom? Right? Is this that these the men that shook kingdoms? Is this the world that shook kingdoms? Right? Because they shook kingdoms with their bombs, their atom bombs, what they did to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know what I mean? So they shook kingdoms. Also Edom shall be a desolation, everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Right? They're gonna be, you know what I mean, severely tortured, man. Yeah, the fire and the brimstone, and yeah, it's gonna be a build up to it. And that's what we're looking forward to, the grand finale, because Yahushua gonna come back. Yahushua, what you Christians call him, Jesus, he's gonna get his lit back, right? And he's gonna share some of that with the 144,000, right? Abarat are where those men coming back to share in the bringing down and destruction. Not forgetting the lasers coming out of the chariots. So that's the angels too, the Most High's hitmen, right? But Yahushua gonna lead the charge, right? To burn up this place, right? Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. I read that again because there's so much pleasure in reading prophecy of what's going to happen to Babylon, right? So all you scoffers and haters, be careful what you ask for. You might just get what you're looking for. You might just get what you're asking for. The very thing that you're saying going to happen to Babylon going to happen, and most are going to send his chariots after you. You're now marking yourself. That's all you're doing. Yeah, at least they repent, you're marking yourself, right? So-called Prince Genesis, right? The understudies of Sikari, the Sikari camp, Al-Azhar, and also you got what's that guy, Brother Hassad, right? Who were once a part of that Sikari camp. Now they've all dispersed. You know, because why? Because they flock together. Birds of a feather do flock together. But they're still, you know, continuing with that wickedness, man. Coming against GMS. And like I say, I would say that they probably took the bag. You know what I mean? No one's that simple. Right? No, you're not in, if you're not in Christianity, you're on a certain level. From you was in Christianity and you've come out, definitely if you're in GMS, you're on a certain level. But for those that were in Christianity, know better than that. Even Christians know better than that. Even Jehovah's Witnesses know better than that. You know what I mean? It's certain, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So that's just folly. So I believe they took the bag. So yeah, be careful what you're asking for. Trading in truth for hush money. Trading truth for hush money, man. How simple can you get? So as in the overthrow of Sodom, there you have it. I just read it. Genesis 19 and 24, I just read it. Right, Sodom and those 5 cities. Right, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith Yahweh, no man shall abide thee, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Right, nothing left but tumbleweave, a memorial for what happens to a city that is extremely wicked. So just wanted to address that. More folly keep rising its ugly head because people, bugouts and sellouts, have took the bag. You know what I mean? The lake of fire is not America, where we just proved, yes it is, it's Babylon. And the Babylon is America, and you got it all throughout the scriptures. Right? So that's just prophecy. The word of Yahweh Shema Shai, Kala Yahweh Shema Shai. And all you bugouts and sellouts, be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it. Shalom until the next one.